Hey guys, okay, so I'm just gonna do this. I've got 26:14 on the clock there. My shirt's blocking out the white numbers. So I'm just gonna do a random one, some of which are the handmade cards here. I'm not gonna get started just yet. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Just give me a second. I'll probably do that tomorrow, starting on the zodiacs for each one of you guys. Don't worry, I will be doing that. Last month I did it, and I've done it every month for, how long have I been doing just the tarot readings for each month, the zodiac? That'd be interesting to look back how long I've been doing this. So yes, you've each been getting like a free reading from me for each of you guys for the 13 zodiacs. I get as detailed as I can within 30 minutes. I go with the original 13 zodiacs, those before they changed it to the 12th, and drop the Fiacus. Right now, I'm just going to be reading whatever's around me, whatever I feel called to. And whoever comes across this video, it is timeless. It's meant for you to get when you're meant to see it. There are billions of people on the planet, and I trust that my words that I speak with good intention are meant to get to the right people at the right time. When you think of your past life, what comes to mind? This could be right now what you need to focus on doing. So this is like your homework if you're really interested, if you're a very personal kind of person that likes to find out more about yourself. If you like to get to know more about your past life, if you want to know about reincarnation, if you want to know about everything that you have already done or learned from, or even when you're here in the physical 3D right now and you're doing certain things that you can't explain, that nobody has taught you, but you just seem to know, then this is definitely for you. When you think of your past life, what comes to mind? What is being in your mind's eye? What are you being shown of what you should be looking up right now? What should you be doing the research on? What kind of deities or what kind of mythology that you want to look into? If you want to go study that, find out more, trust yourself, okay, trust your intuition. Let's say something pops in your head and you're like, that's weird, why is that popping up into my head? The other day I was thinking about the Victrola, that played almost like record player, but for some reason just that itself, just seeing it, just hearing it play music, drew me in. So maybe if I were to study it and look up on it, or maybe if I even were to get one from an antique store myself, I'm sure they're very expensive, but, or just go to an antique shop and kind of feel all the energies. I love doing that, going to an antique shop. So you could be called to be doing this right now. What else? Learn more about your family history. Again, this is going with the whole history being passed down, and or ask more questions and research. So this is almost like for the Divine Collective, your homework for the month of May. All right, that's what I should call it. The homework for the month of May for the Divine Collective. Each of you have specific things that you're supposed to be looking into right now. You're supposed to be learning from the past, so you don't keep making the same mistakes, so you don't keep recreating the same fucking cycles again and again and again. You got to learn from the past. That's the whole point in history. And that's why I think war is redundant at this point in time. It's 2025. Like you would think, let's say 10 years from now, if somebody's watching this video, right now it's 2025, 10 years from now, you would think that the message has gotten across and we've learned from history already to not recreate the same shit. Get out of our heads, get out of this fear, like low vibrational mentality that we need to be stuck in the same cycles. That's bull cocky. I don't know, I said it like that. Anyways, if they abandoned themselves, okay, and they abandoned you, this is previously, then don't feel bad for walking away. There are changes that we're all going to have to make. I'm not saying that everybody needs to be secluded. We do need to dive in deep and do our dark night of the soul. We do need to do our research. We need to find out and reconnect with our ancestors more about ourselves and our past. Okay, we do need to do the hard work and heal from all the trauma. Okay, if you're good at if you're a seer, This is to my seers out there watching the channel. If you're a seer and you do your baths and you can see from prehistory, you go all the way back as if you were actually there in that time and you're feeling that energy, you're feeling the pain, you're understanding what the lesson is that you need to learn from, you're understanding for the collective as a whole what it is that you need to heal from. So you're breaking that curse. You're basically saying, I understand that feeling. I'm not going to dismiss it. It's no longer unresolved. I understand what the lesson is that we need to learn from this and how we need to move forward from that moment in the past, the pain. Because in my opinion, past, present, and future are all coexisting. They are all playing out at the same time. So when we heal from the past, we're actually healing the bloodline. When we're healing here in the present. So those two coincide. And we're also making an impact on what happens in the future. It's all happening all at once. All right? And it's very important. If there are people that have abandoned you because you became at one point too codependent, or that's just the way it's always been, if you've been abandoned and you're a child, just understand that is not on you, okay? It's just a process that you're having to go through that you were selected for. You're having to go through this right now, and there's a reason for it. There's a process of learning, and you can gain so much more clarity than those that walked away from you and left you abandoned. All right, they have their own journey, you have your own, if that makes sense. What else we got here? Routines are important, but routines need to be adjusted accordingly based off of specific goals wanting to be achieved. If there are certain ways that you want to go about things and it's not getting you your goals, then there are certain things that you need to change in your daily routines, your activities, the ways of thinking, your vibrational frequency that you're sending out, your actions, your words, how you speak about yourself is huge. There's so many people, and I used to do this too, that talk shit about themselves. It's bad enough we have people around us that are insecure talking shit. But for us to talk shit about ourselves, what? It took me a long time to figure this one out. It's like, oh, well, I'm not good at that. Or, oh, I really suck at that. Or I'll never be good at that. You are literally placing spell work on yourselves, guys. You are placing fucking spell work on yourselves due to conditioning of what other people have placed on you out of their own insecurities, out of their own unlearned lessons that they placed onto you. So now that you're carrying the burdens because you have a big heart and you are empathic, and so now you're embodying somebody else's fucking energy that they placed on you, and you're living it out in your current life as if that's your life, but it's not your life, because deep down inside you feel this like emptiness because you know that's not you. You know that's not your energy. You know that's not who you truly are. It's not your authenticity. It's not your real true energy, which you should be standing in. So if you're telling yourself all this negative shit about yourself, that's not who you truly are. It never was. It's not your burdens to carry. It never was. It's not your pain to carry. It never was. You deserve better than that, than to carry other people's insecurities. They deserve to be healed, to be healing themselves, to understand they're worthy and much more than they think they are. And they shouldn't be projecting that onto another person to make them feel so small and to absorb their good energy and to make them carry their burdens. They shouldn't be doing that either. The animals around you tell a message, familiar or unfamiliar. They can help here and in the spiritual realm. I've had dreams where I've seen my old cat that passed away years ago, Tigger. She was my first kitty. She lived till like 25 or 28. Very long, long, long life. And she showed up in my dream. It was a very odd moment. This was near my beginning of another portion of my awakening. And I was having vivid dreams. These were to get messages across, because at that time I wasn't reading the room. I wasn't reading the energies, and I didn't know how to read tarot, another thing. And at that time. And she came into my dream because it was somebody that was posing as my father. Somebody that looked like my father, but something was off about it, and they were trying to hand me something. It was like a piece of paper or something, that document or something that was written down. And as they were trying to hand me this thing, I don't know what they were trying to get me to do, but as they were trying to hand it to me, this entity that was masking themselves as my father, who I rest in peace, I love very, very much, all of a sudden, and it was placed in my childhood home, one of my childhood homes in Toronto, in the apartment. All of a sudden, Tigger runs by, and she caught my attention. And then I just kind of dropped and stopped focusing on that. And I was like, hey, Tigger, how you doing? What are you doing here? Because I knew I was dreaming. And for her to be in my dream, I was like, why is she showing up in my dream in this part? Because, like, she never came to Toronto. She never lived in Toronto. And I was like, well, why are you in this part of the dream? And she distracted me. And at that moment, I instantly realized that she's distracting me for a reason. She's there to help me. And I got out of that dream. I come up out of it. I don't remember if I woke up specifically or if I just came up out of that dream. But I recognized that my familiar was there to help me. And I've also got the evil eye on here as well. They could be helping from pulling a lot of negative energies if they're going through any kind of ailments, if your pets are suffering. There could be a lot of projections or spell work being done on you, and because you're protected, it could be bouncing, and if your pets are not protected, if your familiar is not protected, they could be getting the brunt end of it. So if they're taking one for the team, make sure they're protected, cleanse them, give them a bath, make sure they are spiritually okay too. All right, because them guys, they probably suffered some shit too, and right now they're in a form of a animal, and they are either your familiar or they're just coming around to give you a message. All right. You'll get a lot of messages if you're just sitting out in nature, if you're meditating with eyes open, listening, grounding yourself, feeling, using all your senses, sound, sight, touch, like the sun on your face, the wind, the ground underneath you. When you're getting grounded and connected, you're also meditating. It's not just closing your eyes and going within. It's also your physical 3D, what's around you. Any signs or synchronicities, anything that's placed in front of you, you're meant to see those things. And you're meant to interpret it however you're meant to interpret it to get the messages that you're meant to get, either high vibrational or low vibrational. It's a choice. If you are one of those people that are visually overwhelmed and you're seeing all these signs around you and you're taking it in subconsciously and you're not fully awake and aware yet, it could be really overstimulated and you need to be able to ground yourself somehow. Focus on positive if you can, glimmers even. If you are seeing certain messages in front of you that are really low vibrational, like they're trying to really get into your head, or you're being subjected to certain spell work or anything like that, or you're just in a low vibrational state and you don't have enough self-love at this time, you're not lifting yourself up high enough, and you're seeing a lot of these, it's going to be overwhelming and scary, but you got to remember you're in control. You're in control of you. You're in control of your vessel. You get to choose how you resonate with the situation. Whatever messages are coming in are for you. There is nothing to be afraid of, okay? There are people out there that will use like scare tactics. They want to keep you in a low vibrational frequency. They will give you all sorts of mixed, fucked up messages. And it's like these people have no better thing to do with their life than to send you fucked up messages constantly. It's like they have nothing better to do than to focus on it's like they know when they're alerted when you're awake and aware to stuff. So they know that you're picking up on messages and they're going to try to project whatever they can in front of you, which is messed up. And they shouldn't be doing that. They are going to get karma for that. Don't worry about what they're doing. Focus on what you're doing, okay? Solar plexus chakra energy. This is for you specifically, all right? Out of everything we're doing right now, when it comes to finding out about your past self, it is very, very essential that you're getting reacquainted with your inner child, doing that healing work, because he or she is very, very special and very loved. And I send my hugs and kisses. Mwah. You are very special, little boy or girl in there, and you do deserve to be heard, and you do deserve to be taken care of, and you do deserve to have fun, and you do deserve to be creative and be loving and caring and your kind, beautiful self. All right. So the adult version that I'm speaking to right now, not the child version, you best be taking care of your inner child. You best be acknowledging them and that they have needs too. They're still in there and they're strong little survivors, and they're what got you to where you are right now. They're the power source. They are the solar energy. They are your connection to source. All right. Learn more. And get reacquainted with your inner child. Love up on them. Tell them how strong and powerful they are and how very, very important they are to you. And thank them, right? Because even if other people walked away from you and have abandoned you, does not mean you should be doing that to yourself. Does not mean you walk away and disconnect what makes you you. Does not mean you detach and pretend like that inner child doesn't exist, like they never did. or that it's childish or stupid, or that you should be more, when they are raising you and they tell you, oh, you need to grow up, well, part of growing up is to understand how we're functioning as a human being, experiencing being human being, but also being connected to source, also being connected with ourselves, also understanding all this information and the past that we've gone through and that we're currently going through, all the cycles. It's very important. So it's definitely not something to be dismissed. You don't want to dismiss it. All right. What else can we get here? How much time do we got left? 15:31. Yeah, so for real, guys, when you're doing this work and you're like, oh, the fucking hippies hugging the trees, or, oh, they're acting like children prancing around and they're grown adults, well, there's a balance too. There's a balance there. So people that are embracing their inner child are safe. They feel safe. They feel comfortable enough to do so. And that takes a lot of work. That takes not giving a fuck what nobody else thinks. That is bravery right there in itself. People that ignore what others would consider adult responsibilities, it's a choice. If we want to live in the matrix and do everything that we're programmed to do from an early age, to be in the system and to the indoctrination to do this and do that and never ever embrace your inner child again once you get to a certain age, and you're supposed to forget about that. It's just a lost memory. It's something you can use as comfort every once in a while to think back on but never embrace again. That's fucking bullshit. I'm gonna say it right now. Anybody that has that mentality or that was raised like that, to think that any kind of childish behavior that reconnects you with your inner child should be dismissed and ignored and never ever indulged or embodied again. That disconnect that you have, that emptiness that you feel, that longing that you want, the unsatisfied feeling that you try to fill with other things, that's your inner child begging you to pay attention to them, to acknowledge their existence again, to embody and still be reconnected with them, with source, because that's where they come from. So you see a lot of elderly people that are miserable, that think that certain things are juvenile, or that certain things shouldn't be indulged, or certain emotions should never be felt again, or that they should never ever embody their childlike self, out of the fact of worrying about society and societal standards, or what is the norm, or what's expected of you. They're not the happiest people. I'll be the first to say this. When I get so overwhelmed or wrapped up in the physical matrix, the mundane stuff, and I get overwhelmed with my responsibilities and having to provide a roof over my head, and when I get too overwhelmed, instead of being carefree, instead of understanding that I will be taken care of the way things are supposed to work out, they will work out. If I get too wrapped up in the bullshit, then it becomes fear-based, then it becomes like indoctrination, then it becomes a program, then it becomes detachment of self, then it becomes you're pulled specifically in here and there's no balance between the two realms. You are in the middle. You've got to be responsible for having a balance there. And anybody that's abandoned you has abandoned themselves already. In that sense, if they purposefully left you alone as a child, or if they abandoned you and neglected you, it's because they didn't have the capacity to even do that within themselves. So how do you expect that out of an individual? If you walk away from somebody that's not meant for you, that's not technically abandonment, especially if you verbalized it. If you said, listen, this is what my standards are, this is what my lines are, or lines have been crossed, or maybe you have disconnected with yourself and I want to get reconnected with myself, and we both can do that, but you don't want to choose to do that, and I'm going to walk away. Some people may consider that abandonment. Just acknowledge the only person that you want to not abandon is yourself. Okay? You need to be able to be okay with that. If other people walk away from you, maybe they have to do their own thing. That could be a form of protection too. Rejection's a form of protection. So when I say this in a broad circumstance and apply it how it resonates with you. But don't make it fit. If they abandoned, themselves and they abandoned you, then don't feel bad for walking away. All right? Sometimes you got to do what you need to do. Pluvial, relating to rain or rainy, right? A lot of emotions when we go through these certain things. If there's certain questions you want to ask, your past history, if you start learning things that nobody told you, like family secrets, yeah, there's going to be a lot of rain. There's going to be a lot of emotion. There's going to be a lot of thunderstorms or whatever. But what happens after the storm clears? The storm doesn't last forever. Keep that in mind, okay? What else can we get here? For the general collective, just random. Not random, but I got 6 minutes. What do you want them to see? What do you need them to hear? Prescription. Act of prescribing that which is prescribed. So if you're on heavy medication right now, be very cautious at this time. All right. Make sure you know what it is that you're taking, what's in it. If you are codependent on certain prescriptions right now and you're not going within for that inner child and you're trying to fill that void because you've abandoned your inner child and you don't believe that they're valid or that they have a place, then you're trying to fill it with something else. Okay. If you're not healing from certain things, you're going to want to be prescribed medication. If there are certain medications that you need right now at this time and you haven't fully got to the healing point and you need to seek professional help, then do so if you need that, okay? But only if you need it. And just keep in mind that if you're doing that, not to get carried away, don't get addicted, because some people have addicted personalities. A claim or title based on long use. Like I said, past history. When you think of your past life, what comes to mind? Do you feel like you should have been born in the 40s, or maybe that was a past life and now you have the style of that, which is 40s here in 2025? Or you learn more about your family history and you're learning more and you're putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and it may be painful, but you're asking more questions. You're starting to get to know yourself, where you're coming from. It's giving you more downloads, more information, right? And it's also part of the title. It's part of your legacy. It's part of who you are. All right. The loss of a legal right by lapse of time. So if somebody has given you rights to something, or you have the rights to something, over time, things need to be upheld. Things need to continue a certain way. This could be tradition. If there's certain people that claim that somebody has a right to something, but because the time has passed and they no longer have rights to that, that is something not just in the physical with legal documentation, but the spiritual realm to decide. If you are meant to have a certain title, or a chair is meant for you to sit in, or if you are meant to have a certain gift that is bestowed to you from your ancestors, then it will be yours, as long as you're taking the right precautions, and as long as you are making the right decisions, you're listening to your higher self and doing what's best for you, you're living your purpose, and you're doing everything that you can for you, then that is for you. They cannot take it away. They cannot say just because time has lapsed that you're no longer deserving of it. All right? If you haven't done the work on yourself and out of nowhere you're in your 40s, 50s, and you decide you want to start doing work on yourself and other people are shitting on you for that, or they're saying, oh, well, it's too late for that, that's bullshit. Or you can't teach an old dog new tricks. What is that saying? That's bullshit. That's also spell work. All right? Other people's perception of their own failures or what they didn't do right for themselves placed onto you. Do not let other people's limitations be placed onto you, because they are not your limitations. You're allowed to do what's best for you. If you want to start healing now, then do so. It's your time. You're meant to do it. There is no expiry date for that. You're allowed to start healing whenever you want to fucking start healing. Nobody has control of you when you want to heal for your fucking self, because you're helping the general collective. You're helping your ancestors. You're helping everything you got to that very point. Maybe you weren't ready before. It was too painful, but you're ready now. Don't let anybody tell you different. If somebody tells you not to heal because they don't want to heal, then they're trying to project onto you their own insecurities or their own choices. I will point to you, think for yourself, and you decide, wait a minute, I'm not you. I want to heal. I'm, this is becoming less taboo. More people are talking about this. More people are open to this. And I've been wanting to do this for so long, but I felt so uncomfortable because societal standards has me acting a certain way. Societal standards have me abandoning my inner child. Societal standards had me not knowing the true history of my past. And maybe even told not to ask questions. And that's not okay. If you want to do something, routines are important, but routines need to be adjusted based off of specific goals wanting to be achieved. You're going to have to make some changes. Don't worry about what other people think. That doesn't matter. Even me being on a social media platform like this, you'd think I'd care about what people think, but no, it doesn't matter. I care about what I think. I care about what I really uphold. I care about my beliefs and my values. I care about how I'm affecting other people. I care about how I'm trying to do my job here, my part. Because I do believe I have value and worth. I do believe that I'm supposed to be speaking. Because I never shut up. And there's a reason for it. I'm at least using it for good. All right. So that's for you guys. Hopefully this helped give you a little bit of clarity. So there's a different random take for that one. I just thought I would just pull whatever needed to come out. Remember to love you. Please do.